Non-Stop Rock Talk with Tyson, Pride, and Brian Wheat. Welcome to Non-Stop Rock Talk. It's truly a pleasure to have you on the show today. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. I'm up here in Canada and near Toronto. And it's I'm sure where you are is probably a lot nicer than the weather's probably a bit better. So, but other than that,
well, I'm in central New York, so
are you? Okay.
It's getting ready to snow on us here pretty soon.
Yeah, we had snow on Christmas Day, and then a few days, Boxing Day, and days after that. So today's no snow today, so it's all good. Now, I have to say, I've read your book, Son of a Milkman, My Crazy Life with Tesla. I have to be honest, I couldn't put it down. As soon as I started reading it, I had to finish it. Tell me a bit about the process of writing the book. How was it done over a long period of time?
Yeah, it was probably a 4 or 5 year process.
Wow.
I started it a couple times, and the first time I started it, I didn't really finish it. And then it sat for a bit, and then I did another draft with another guy, and when I finished that, I started sending it around a little bit to get some feedback to see if, I was out of my mind or it actually was a book or what. And it was suggested to me at that point that it kind of read like an interview.
Okay.
And then they put me together with Chris Epting, who me and Chris have been working on the book for the last year and a half. And that's the book that you read. That's the book I did with Chris. But there are parts in that book that were in the very first draft as well. So it was about a 5-year process.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. I mean, sometimes, I write for the Sleaze Rock site as well. So I actually had an artist come to me and ask me to help with his book, an artist up here in Canada. So I kind of know about that whole process. And that book has been kind of like, I think we're coming on 3 years of us doing it on and off. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it takes a while, man.
It totally does, and then things change.
Especially if you're busy doing, chores and this, that, and the other as well, and you got a family life and stuff. So I've been, pretty busy the last 10 years, the last 5 years, well, the last 20.
Yeah.
Up until this year.
Yeah.
Playing with Tesla every, other month. So had I probably not had anything else to do, I probably could have finished it all in a year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you factor in touring and life and all that stuff, that totally makes sense. There were even a few things that I could relate to in your book in my life. One was dealing with colitis. I've dealt with that disease on and off for, I guess, well over 20 years. And and you spoke of it in various sections in the book, and I kind of really understand how hard it is some days. And I have to be honest, like reading that about you, it was kind of like a lot of books don't talk about those things. And I thought on a personal level, that was really cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I go through it. I've had it since I was 14 and it went into remission for about 30 years.
Wow.
And it crept back up when I turned 40. So the last 15, 16 years, I've dealt with it on and off in various degrees of severity. And it's a motherfucker, man.
That is.
As you know.
I mean, and for people that don't understand, I mean, you can say, well, I have colitis, and they don't understand what actually, when it flares up, you're like, I mean,
it's extremely painful.
Yeah.
For one thing, I mean, it's extremely painful and it can be very debilitating.
Yep.
And you try to have to go on stage when you're in a complete flare-up. It can be pretty challenging.
Oh, man.
At times. And then, I kind of addressed it because it was, people said, what about your weight? It goes up and down. It didn't really do that, early on in your career. What's going on with you? I mean, are you like pounding donuts? And it's, like the only thing that combats colitis is prednisone, which is a steroid.
Yeah.
which, I've been on them so many times in the last 15 years. It's just up and down. And when I'm on them, it puffs you up.
Yeah.
And then, you get off it, and then next thing you know, you got another flare up. So it's like a vicious cycle. So I think, in the book I talked about that because I wanted to people maybe a little insight as to what I was doing and maybe think, recognize the fact that, hey, look, it's not that I'm not trying to look after myself or I'm just being a fat, lazy slob here. It's I have this condition that I have to take these pills that when you do them, they'll put 40 pounds on you. Trust me, you don't want this.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I've kind of been in remission. I was for like 2 or 3 years, but I've actually only ever had to go on that steroid once, and I can attest to that. It was kind of like the doctor prescribed it and said, okay, you're only going it on for this amount of time, and you're going to see weight gain. And I was like, okay. At first, I mean, I was eating like crazy. I was just hungry, right? And and I kind of I didn't see any difference. And then after that 21 days, I was like, holy shit, I just gained like 20 pounds in no time. And I guess it was that whole process of it, right? It was nuts.
Yeah, I've been on it at points in the last 20 years for 3 months at a time.
Wow.
So, because you just don't get off it once you get on it either. You got to kind of wean off it and stuff. Yeah. So it's a gnarly disease, but hey man, I'm not asking for anyone's pity or anything. I'm okay. I deal with it. I do the best I can. And I, I've missed a couple of shows in my career because of it, but outside of that, I'm okay, man. There are people who got it a lot worse than I have it. So yeah. I'm not complaining or asking for sympathy. I'm just kind of sharing in the book with what it is that I go through, and in answer to maybe some of the comments that have been made on social media about me and my weight and stuff. It's like, well, maybe this will answer your question before you want to say rude shit and judge me.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, social media is very good at that. There's people that love to go, I mean, they can hide behind their computer and say whatever they want, right? So
yeah, that's what they do. So,
but it is
hopefully that'll answer their question, and they can say something shitty about me about something else, but not that.
Exactly. Another thing that really captured me in the book was you speaking about, and this was kind of near the beginning as you're talking about when you were in school, speaking about music in school, that it was so much better back then, and you kind of feel sorry for the kids today. And I totally understand that. I mean, having kids myself, I mean, music was back then, even, I mean, the teachers seemed to be passionate about music, which I always thought was cool too. And it was
there was music programs in school, and there was music classes and stuff, and it's just not really there anymore today, is it?
No, it's not. And I mean, I wonder why that is. Maybe it comes down to funding. Who knows? Or maybe kids just aren't into music like we were when we were younger, right? It's hard to say.
I don't know. I think, that whoever makes these budgets and stuff, they just prioritize other bullshit instead of, putting music programs in schools for kids.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Now, it was also really cool in the book that you mentioned these songs that you guys, that City Kid, these pop songs that you mentioned, Teenage Dream, She's My Only Love, Tell Me No Lies and Be With You, because I had never heard of these songs before, which was cool. And then you had mentioned, I don't want to give away too much, but I mean, you had mentioned working with Ronnie Montrose, and I guess he had taken a couple other songs and made them into one. And then there's a session where Little Susie came to fruition. So, was it those 4 songs that actually ended up on the first demo?
Yeah, the first demo was those 4 songs.
Yeah,
that was the first demo we did with Ronnie.
Yeah. Do you still own a copy of that?
Little Susie. What's that?
Do you still have a copy of that demo?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's all in the archives. I mean, one day we'll put out this box set, hopefully, and all that stuff will get released, commercially for everyone to, enjoy or, laugh or whatever,
Yeah.
It's some funny stuff and some really cool stuff. There's cool stuff in there too. I mean, I think for a Tesla fan, if we ever are able to get this thing out, I think they'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'd be totally into that. I'd love to hear those songs one day because demo number 2 had "I Know What I Need," "On the Run," "Curious Eyes," and "Headed for Disaster." So, which you alluded to in the book as well. So, yeah, hopefully there will be a box set. That would be amazing because it's funny because I bought the vinyl on Discogs of Edison's Medicine, and that had it was a green vinyl I got it from Europe, I believe, and it had
Children's Heritage, didn't it, or something, Love and Vain, or
no,
something?
it was 4 songs. It had the Montrose, it had "Rock the Nation" on it. Run, 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 I think it was, maybe, and I can't remember I think the other song was just a track off the album, which was cool, but I got robbed last year of about 200 vinyls. My house got broken into, stole a bunch of guitars, and they stole a bunch of my Tesla vinyls. So that got stolen. So I went again to replace that darn album, and it came, and I put it on, and the friggin' thing was warped. So I still have to get another copy of it. I was like, that was such.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was a piss off. It's like, okay, this. And I waited forever. I even had to write the guy and say, "Did you send this? When's it coming?" And then it took about 3 months, and then I finally put it on, and the stupid thing's warped. But that's the chance you take too, right? So could have been in shipping. So now I wanted to ask about working with Tom Zutaut. Now, speaking of those songs we just spoke of. And it was kind of cool because Tom kind of worked with you guys over, what was it, about a 2-year period?
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, on that second demo, those songs didn't really sound like what ended up on Mechanical Resonance?
No, not at all.
Really, eh?
No, any of those songs, none of them sound like what came on Mechanical Resonance at all. Tom was real instrumental in the beginning of kind of helping shape our sound and steering us down the path of what you hear on Mechanical Resonance.
Yeah, which is cool because you alluded to the fact that instead of you guys sounding like, maybe you guys want to sound like Def Leppard or the Scorpions, he wanted more of that 70s organic sound like Humble Pie, Bad Company, and UFO. And it's almost like, it's amazing because it's almost like he was looking into the future of what hard rock was going to sound like later in the 80s when you think about Tesla and Guns N' Roses and having...
Yeah, I don't know if he had a crystal ball or whatever, he just...
Yeah.
He hipped us to those records, which, I'm glad he did. I suppose if you asked him, he'd tell you he was visionary. But, my brothers have those same records, so, it was great. I mean, he did. He took us out record shopping and got us all these kind of organic, classic rock albums, and that's kind of how our sound took that course after that. But if you listen before, yeah, it's a bit like Loverboy or something.
Really?
And yeah, he wasn't too keen on that. Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. Where would you be today, right? Imagine if Tesla.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing this interview probably.
No, exactly. I mean, that is amazing when just speaking of that, thinking about that, and I also think that in that time period, 86, 87, Geffen Records had a huge part in the success of a lot of hard rock bands. When you figure Tesla, like GNR, Whitesnake, and Aerosmith, like 4 really big bands. And the only band that Geffen possibly didn't give a fair shake to was Y&T with Contagious Intent, which were both fantastic releases. But I guess it all came down to the timing of the label, and it sounds like you guys got signed to the right label.
Yeah, well, we definitely were on the right label. Everything lined up. I mean, you never quite know what the intangible ingredient is that makes something successful or not, but we were fortunate enough that when we put out the records, people connected with them, and we had some success, which was very good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny too that you mentioned, when fast forwarding to the Great Radio Controversy, talking about Love Song. I remember my buddies and I I had the tape first, hearing that song and thinking, okay, this is going to be a big hit. But then reading in the book was that it was you guys kind of fought for that song.
Yeah, no one wanted to put it out. The record company or management, Tom, nobody. They didn't think it was a hit. They thought it was 3 parts.
Wow.
So they didn't really view it as a hit single. And we thought it was a hit from day one.
Yeah.
So, later in life, we always reminded them all of that, which maybe wasn't such a good thing to do, because we became kind of hard-headed. Anytime we disagreed with them, we'd say, well, what about Love Song? And, maybe we should have listened to them a little bit more,
right,
than we did. But, it's all there in black and white. And, but that song, yeah, they didn't think it was a hit.
That's crazy. And I mean, when you see the band, when you go see Tesla, it's always one of those ones that everybody knows it, right? It's a timeless song now. It's such a great song.
Yeah, it's one of our big ones.
Yeah, no kidding. Now I have to ask, in the Way It Is video, there's a scene where I can't remember who it is throwing a baseball back and forth with a ball. Is that a ball?
That's me.
That's you. Is that Dave Steele?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's my buddy Dave Steele.
Really? Growing up, he was like my ultimate favorite pitcher. Like I know we're talking about baseball, but he was amazing.
Played for the Toronto Blue Jays. I saw him last week. I was in California and saw him. We had dinner together. I still were good friends with Dave, and he was the first baseball player that we ever met that was a Tesla fan.
Really?
So
cool.
Yeah, and we connected, and I said, hey, man, let's do this video, man. Each one of us gets to do our own little thing in the video. I want you to be in it. Me and you play catch. So that's what we did.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I remember him having a book back in the 80s when I was a kid and read it when it came out. So that was really cool. It was good. And I always wanted to ask you guys that question, if that was indeed him. That's cool.
Yeah, that's Dave.
Cool. But before I let you go, I wanted to mention that I loved the job you did on the mastering of the Simplicity vinyl. I originally bought the CD and really liked it, but I always thought, until I got that vinyl, that the vinyl that it kind of brought that album more to life.
Yeah, I thought that the record on the whole, when I heard the CD, lacked bottom end.
Yeah.
So when I was mastering it, I added a lot more bottom end to the vinyl version of it.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. I actually just got it probably 6 months ago on vinyl. I found it on Amazon. And I was like, I gotta get this. It had always been on my mind to play, and then I threw it on and I was like, I love this. So it's cool.
Yeah, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem. Now, with that said, are there any plans for those Geffen releases besides Psychotic Supper, which is already on vinyl, to be reissued?
Don't know. It's up to them. It's completely in their control.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
We don't really have much to do with that.
Really?
That's we have more control. Everything from busting up forward.
Yeah.
They're kind of in control of all that. I wish they do more, because I think people would dig it.
Yeah, I mean, in trying to replace the Great Radio Controversy, after the robbery, I replaced Mechanical Resonance. But getting Great Radio Controversy has been a little bit harder, to be honest with you. So I'm like, well, maybe they'll re-release.
They're out there, man.
They're out there.
You can find it. They're not that.
Yeah, they are out
there,
there, and they're very expensive, right? Which they're gonna be, right? So it is what it is.
I don't know. I haven't looked for one because I got a whole stack of them myself.
Oh, do you? Well,
but they're out there. You can find them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, Brian, I really want to thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. And like I said, I really enjoyed your book, and hopefully my listeners will pick it up and and it's kind of in my top list of autobiographies that I've read. So job well done, man.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Go out and get it. I think, people, it's in my voice, so it's like talking to me that people say, so when they read it. So I think there's a few laughs in it. So
Okay, perfect.
go get it. Have a good time.
Right on. Okay, well, Brian,
All right, man.
okay, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye.